Hey, I'm Paul Bui. Welcome to Community Breadcast, the weekly offshoot of Community Bread. For those unaware, communitybread.co is a queer-owned live stream and resource platform dedicated to supporting marginalized artists all around the globe. And with that in mind, I'm so super excited to introduce my dear friends. This is the collective behind one of Berlin's most notorious underground queer event series, Mala Junta. We have Anna Laura, aka Hyperaktivist, Jojo, DJ Tool, Ted, D.Dan, and then the gatekeeper and tastemaker, Nayme.
Hey.
I'm so happy to connect with all of you. It's been such a long time. How are you all?
We're very
Good.
good, bebe.
Good to see you.
Good to see you
Yeah,
too.
good to see you. Like doing all right to under the circumstances.
Yeah. How's it been in Berlin? The last time I saw you was, on the dance floor. How's it? And then I know things have been good and bad, and it's been like a yo-yo. What is the situation like right now in terms of nightlife in Mala Junta?
I mean, it's basically not existing at the moment, unfortunately. So, like, especially in Berlin, everything is like completely locked down, and there's a curfew and stuff. So we don't have much going on right now besides, like, yeah, live streaming, like radio shows and etc. Like recording mixes, and then like luckily we spend it a lot of the time doing these like pretty boring days on at least making a lot of music. So there's some stuff coming out slowly and like that's at least pretty exciting. But besides that, has been pretty quiet and boring. And I think we all miss to be back on like the dance floor and at least around some other people, But yeah, it is what it is, and like we'll survive somehow,
It feels like it's a long pause. It's a hiatus that we don't know when it's gonna end. And nightlife is so specific when it comes to like people interactions, physical interactions, that with the current situation and the case is not really going down, and the whole situation happening in Berlin, it feels like any types of events like that are kind of on hold indefinitely, at least for now.
Exactly, and it totally feels like it's just being postponed constantly and without any real like date put on
Time
whenever
frame.
we can return to what we need to do and what we are like living for doing and stuff. And like it feels like the most frustrating part is that we feel that none of us knows whenever we can even do anything, and like there comes a point where recording mixes and live streams and stuff stops being that exciting anymore after like now it's been very, very long and it's still all right, but of course like there comes a time where we need to meet each other in real life, and like what we are supposed to do exists in real life and not only like far away from each other.
Oh, totally. I mean, as soon as the dance floor, opens up, I will be the first person there. Like,
yeah, please be.
There's nothing like that energy. But the thing that I'm impressed about is, even during this time, you still managed to keep the Mala Junta brand alive. You're still putting out amazing material, amazing imagery, amazing sounds, all that sort of thing. Do you think in some ways this pandemic has allowed you a bit of a pause to kind of work on your own thing?
I think that's one of the few positive things that we can see so far, because I'm still very, very much looking forward to see all the positive impact that Corona is going to have on a long term, hopefully. We're still in a place where it's very hard to see that because we're still very much in the middle of it, and it's actually getting worse and worse. At least in Germany, in Berlin now, as Joachim said, we're also going to have a curfew that is going to last practically until July. So this curfew won't allow anyone to be out in the street from 8 in the night. Also, you cannot even really have guests in your house after this time. So it's been very challenging. This winter was very hard. Winters in Berlin are usually hard, but we always have this time to meet and to go out and to drain and meet in the club and be in a sweaty basement or whatever, to drain and to meet everybody and feel that we're not completely losing this contact. This winter we completely lacked that because we were locked in the house, and it was also one of the strongest winter in the last 8 years in Berlin. Like, the whole river froze. We had a lot of snow, so it was hard. We were having like 4 hours of light a day, being with the lockdown since November, the lockdown where only supermarkets and pharmacies are open. So
Right.
it's been tough, and we were really very much looking forward to the new year because we were supposed to start getting the vaccines in November, and it's April, almost June, almost May, and there's still not there are no appointments being made for the
Right.
vaccinations process, you know.
And I think
So
we all hoped for and was expecting that the spring and the summer would look different than the winter, you know. And now we are facing that it might not look that different, you know.
yeah,
So,
now we're facing this curfew, and yeah, it's been complicated. But to answer, can you repeat me the question to answer exactly the?
oh no, I asked during this time in isolation.
Okay, yeah, that I was still looking forward to see the positive impact. As Joachim said, we have had luck of getting a new studio space and reconnecting with making music. And that's been really good because it's been basically one of the only things that it's been really like exciting and giving us a lot of energy, and that giving us like that feeling that we can still work on what we do and on a long or medium term, I don't know, and hopefully see like some results from that coming soon, because the immediate answer that we were so used to have, that was to play and to go to gigs every weekend and to have the parties coming every month. Well, it hasn't been there for more than a year now, and yeah, we're.
I think a good thing is also that, like, now I'm just talking for myself, but I think that without this period of everything stopped, then I'm not sure that I would have had the time to get so much into producing that I had during this time. Because if I was playing every weekend and preparing sets like constantly, then I spent my time on that and recording mixes and everything, DJing. And now, since there was none of that, there was a lot of time to spend in the studio, which has been good to have in a way, So it was a good way to get into that, at least.
Yeah,
I think. No, it's a beautiful. I think it's like a great thing of when you think of being in a pandemic and being in a lockdown kind of way of life, how do you maintain the spirit, so to speak, of Mala Junta and the vibe? And I guess it's really great to see the three of them diving so much into producing and creating and developing their sound. I mean, D.Dan is an incredible producer, obviously, and it's been so amazing to see it expand, to see Anna and Jojo developing also their incredible sounds, and just having the time to perfect their craft on that level. I think that's one of the great things that came out from this lockdown, is that they've really been able to put that.
And another thing that for sure have helped to put things on perspective is this long pause has made you really look back in retrospective and think about all the things that you like how you were doing, things that you would like to do better, things that you would change, things that you would improve for sure, and also having the hope that this impact will also help to turn the direction that the industry was going from in many things, in my opinion, was not going the right way. And I hope to see that maybe this putting everything in perspective and being the music scene so in such a fragile position have helped people to change a little bit the mindset and remember a little bit why we started doing this, what is the goal with the projects that we have, and yeah, that's the part of the story that I'm really looking forward. Can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait either. And I mean, I've been in Berlin in the winter, and it's pretty brutal. But I can't imagine having nowhere to go but the Spati. That's pretty kind of
Really hard, because everything that makes Berlin what it is, like the essence of Berlin, it's not there.
Yeah.
So it's been really weird times in Berlin, I say. But I guess everywhere, everywhere it has been just very strange and complicated.
Yeah.
But for Berlin being a city that is so active, so about being outside, meeting people, and that's what makes the city what it is,
Yeah.
It's been brutal in a way.
I've heard that instead of having after, there's just a lot of drawings at the moment in Berlin.
I mean, the only plan that you can do these days is go to a lodge, go to a theater, and with this fear that maybe the cops will come anyway. So.
Yeah, it's
But going off you were saying, Anna Laura, about you having time to rethink how you want to change the industry. You know what I've always been so impressed with Mala Junta. I've seen you play in New York a few times, and then I went to Mala Junta. I can't remember what year it was. Maybe November last year or September. Anyway, but I was so
November.
impressed. Yeah, but the vibe, the energy, I don't know, it was completely different. Like I said, it was like, you know, the most freeing and inclusive, but yet exclusive party to get into, which I think is really quite a delicate balance to kind of meet. I'm just curious, what is the ethos for those that are unaware? How did you guys meet? And what's the idea behind the Mala Junta? Tell us about the party to our audience.
So I think we started to just make a party that was like smaller than a lot of the other stuff, because we wanted to make a party just like for friends and friends of friends in the beginning. It was not supposed to like blow up really, like, you know, it was obviously a good thing and really nice that it did that. But when we started, we were like in a very, very tiny club, and we're just like everybody on the lineup and like everybody working like from the door to like, yeah, all the DJs playing were all friends, and usually actually still is, you know, like so in that way it just started as like a party for friends. And then mainly music wise, we had something on our minds that we didn't feel was represented a lot around in Berlin, like a more like old school, faster, raw techno sounds, and also like trance-y stuff was like not really a big thing in Berlin at that time. So it was like fun to bring that, like we wanted to bring that back into the picture, and then like reunite it with like all the amazing queer ravers that are in Berlin, you know, and that happened to merge really, really well together, you know, people
It all
like,
came very naturally, because when we met, like we met through friends and in like going to other events, and me and Joachim met. We started to become closer and closer and closer. Then we became really good friends. And Jojo had the idea we wanted to do a party. I was already making mess, and we said, let's just make another party that is going to be mainly for what Joachim said, for friends of friends, and this is the musical direction that we want to have. And then more or less at the same time, we also came to meet Nayme, and we were just starting to become closer, but very, very gradually, like very natural. And when we finally decided to make the party, when we were thinking about like who we wanted to work with, or who kind of like shared that vision, and we felt like 100% comfortable to work with, immediately like Nayme came to mind, and we were like, Nayme needs to be part of the team, Chris needs to be part of the team, Deborah, that was already working with me at Mess, also came into the family. And eventually when we met Ted, and we got in contact.
yeah, that was also a
like
really funny
lot, yeah.
story. How Ted came into the picture was also really funny, because we like, I guess you went to the first party, right?
Yeah, so like I knew Sugar at that point for some months, and he played at the first party.
Yeah.
And he wrote me when he was in town, and he was like, "Hey, I'm playing at this new party of some friends. You want a guest list?" And I said, "Yeah, I want to see you play." And so I went to Melancholy, the Späti Club, and Nayme and Chris were at the door, and I was like, "What is this?" You know, I arrived at the door, and it was just like a fridge in the front. And I was like, "What the fuck's going on?" Nayme's like, "Hello." And I was like, "State your business." And I was like, yeah, my friend's playing it on the list. And so, yeah, and then he just opened the fridge and the wall was like,
Wow.
It was so epic.
That's
and I walk in, and Filippa, I caught the very end of the opening set, Filippa Pacho, which was awesome. And then Jojo played, and it was like one of the first times I felt since I moved to Berlin in 2016, where I was like, okay, I've been digging all of these old school techno records for years, and finally I hear someone playing like stuff that I've been loving and digging but never heard out. Who the fuck is this person? And like, what party is this? I need to know who this is. And so after that night, I just like left like so inspired, and like saw so many faces of people who I'd been seeing out like partying with for so many years but never met in like a very intimate setting. So I was like, what is going on here? I need to know more about the people behind this. And so I wrote Jojo on SoundCloud and was just like, hey, like, thank you for the tunes. That was amazing. and it basically took off from there. And kind of in
It-
parallel,
And
And
we
from
got-
there, it didn't take long, I would say.
Yeah.
it did not take very long.
It was love at first sight, you know.
Yeah.
And then we got also very lucky that, you know, to have Ted play at the party when, you know, it was, for me, it was quite surreal because like he came to play. I was at the doors. Unfortunately, I couldn't get to hear him play, even though I've been hearing his work and going out. Then in Berlin at that moment, you could not go anywhere without hearing Ted's track Sudan Sudan. It was just every single
that was
person
funny
would
because
play
I don't hear
this-
anything.
Oh, can you hear me? Yeah. And it was just so
What the
amazing
fuck?
because like it was this absolute connection of him coming, playing and bringing such a unique and amazing energy and sound and craft that he brought. And you have also the person behind the DJ that fits also perfectly with our values and our energy. It was just really amazing that it happened like instinctively. It was really
because we got in touch with Ted's music, with his sets and everything, and also the project that he had before in Seattle and everything. And then immediately when I heard it, I showed to Yo, I came and I was like, Yo, like he needs to play in the party. It's like fitting perfectly, blah, blah, blah. So we found the date for him and we booked him. And then after the party, we started to hang a little bit more and more. Like we have this little family tradition. Every time before having Mala Junta, we go to this pizza place in Berlin.
God, I miss the pizza so much.
Yeah, and we have like it's that these huge pizzas, and we order like a huge pizza. And we all eat together from the same plate, and like drink a little bit of wine, put a little bit of vibe before going to the party. So Ted came with a friend, and we started to hang more and more and more. And as we say, it didn't took long after we hang a few times that we realized we started to play together, to share music, to show each other tracks, and then to talk about just in general, I don't know, but values and principles and like things and like how we like to work and the things from the scene that we like, and we did it anyway. And then we decided like, okay, I think that actually this person fits perfect to become the first resident of Mala Junta. And me and Jojo decided to ask, and we were like, yeah, but let's not put so much pressure if maybe he doesn't want.
It was a really good decision.
It was an amazing decision.
And then Ted was like, what? Of course, guys, what do you mean?
It was also so crazy because I don't think at that time we had thought of like having a resident already. It was just really kind of like that's just it, you know, when you kind of feel like you meet the one and you just need to get the one. And Ted is the one.
But also a little bit when things are meant to be, because you know it's just like you don't see it coming, it just happens, and then it happened that we really got along very well with each other. And we were like getting closer and closer and closer, and it fit perfect time, perfect, you know.
And another thing I think that's also important in why our party seems hopefully very friendly is also because that all of us are best friends outside of the party, you know, like, and I think that usually and hopefully mirrors in the party, you know, that like,
yeah. And you know, I've also had a very, very experience with, you know, going to Mala Junta and hearing that sort of sound a little bit through another party in New York. But then whenever I went to Berlin, Nayme would you know can testify to this. But I've been to Berlin many a times, and I've never you know, it was always a lot of dark techno, I mean, which is fine. You know, I can listen to Paula Temple over and over again, but I really wanted to hear something that was that restless strain that was like, you know, a bit more like, you know, 90s influence, fast paced, but still uplifting and euphoric, and you know, and joyful as well. Like, you know, techno didn't always have to be. I love its dark moments, but it can have joy as well. So when I went to your party, I experienced that, and I was like, well, this is probably one of my favorite parties, you know, in the world. So I hope that when things open up, everyone else can get to experience it as well. But
we hope so too.
Yeah.
No, but for sure, like one way or the other, as soon as possible, we're ready, and we already, you know, we even have bookings confirmed. So we're just waiting for the green light of being able to come back. And also ready to adapt as we did last year, because last year at the end of the summer, there was a brief period where we could do like little openers in Berlin. And thankfully we were ready, we moved fast. So we managed to do two that went really well, because especially, you know, like people is like, let's say thirsty. Everybody's quite thirsty for it.
Yeah.
So it came really like the parties were really nice and it was a success, and it was really good to make them because we were really having like to feel that whole inner hearts.
Yeah. Of course.
So
And to also, I think it's like one thing that obviously is important for the party for general, and is that the what we call the fam, which is like the whole Mala Junta, the people that come to the party, the people that really make the party. It's this idea of we like obviously have a music and a sound that is very specific, and what's been really amazing is how the people resonated to that music, and how the people also just like the energy that they bring, and like it's just so great. You can see that the people are there for the right reasons without sounding kind of like cliche, but it's just really this amazing energy that people want to come and dance until they cannot stop dancing.
And a lot of that has got to do with you, Nayme. I think I heard someone speaking in the line at Mala Junta. I was like, oh, this party is harder to get into than Berghain. I think whatever. And I'm like, and then I was like, well, there's actually a reason for that. But when the reason is like you said, the curation. I mean, you can speak more to it, but what is your curation process to making sure that that energy is kept alive once you're into the club?
I mean, the thing is that like I'd never done selection until Anna and Jojo asked me to do it. When they asked, it was really beautiful. They both wrote me separately the most amazing long messages to tell me that they wanted to do this whole adventure with me, and that they would give me the kind of trust and responsibility to take care of the selection. And I'd never done this before. And the fact that they believed in me, they trusted that I had the instincts to do this, is what I think has helped me to do it. And I make mistakes, because everyone I think make mistakes, obviously, but I always try to go with my gut, and I always try to go with the fact that I've been raving and dancing and going to any kind of parties and places, and connect with the people and feeling like, okay, what is the energy that I want when I'm on the dance floor? What is the energy that I also feel is missing? And there's a big element in Mala Junta, which is the inclusivity, in the sense that we want to prioritize people that were not maybe prioritized before. We want to have on the dance floor, girls, people of certain like all genders and colors and sexualities, and sense of like the idea of queerness, not as something that is textbook and that is easy to say, but just as a feeling, as a general energy that makes you feel like you go there and you feel safe and you feel represented and you feel happy. And I myself, as a marginalized person on many levels, to be able to be the one that makes this decision, I think is how I go. It's like I go with the gut and the energy that they chose me as a Black femme person. I'm a Black femme gay guy, and I am here to sense it and to bring this energy. So I'm welcoming everyone, but as long as I make sure that you're going to go there and bring the right vibe. So it's not so much of something that I think of. I just have to like feel the person.
Oh, so beautiful.
And you do that super well.
I love that. Yeah, no,
Nayme says, you choose me. It was like, girl, you like that place had your name unconsciously from the beginning.
Incredible. And then when you were talking about Anna Laura, about when things do open up or in the near future, what are the future plans for Mala Junta?
Well, so far it's been really hard to start to sit down and plan stuff, because we have done that, have tried doing that, and it has ended on a lot of events getting postponed or canceled, or and riding this roller coaster, it hasn't really helped the already, let's say, without wanting to sound too dramatic, but let's say it hasn't helped that emptiness that all of this process have left for all of us. So we we, as I mentioned, we have ideas of the parties that we want to make. We have ideas of the editions, how we want to profile them, and also some of the artists for sure already are written down, and some of them are even booked from last year already. So I think that whenever things start to get, I think that maybe there's going to be a little period of time where we're going to have to do maybe 1-2 parties to start to let things fall in its right place, to try it out, see how's it going to be, how can we make sure that everything we're going to also every time we make a party, it is a commitment for us that with health and safetyness needs to be met all the time. So that's also something that I guess it will take us a little bit, maybe 1-2 editions to see how's it going to be, to see how the rules are going to be, to see how the whole dynamic is going to work Also depends if we're going to be able to do it in the club or if it's still going to have to be outdoors. That also changed a little bit the rules because of the laws that are in Germany. You can only be outside until 10 in the night, and there's a bunch of little details that we have to run differently of how we would normally do Mala Junta.
Yeah.
But for now, I think we have those plans gravitating around our head all the time, and we're literally just waiting for a time frame where we can know, okay, we can start to plan for November or no say January next year. As soon as we have a time frame, as soon as we know something's possible, we have all of these ideas ready, and then we will have to start making the party and see during the party, like, okay, how things are going to be now, what directions we're going to take, what can we do with the reality as it is in the moment, with the restrictions. So, it's all subject to many little details, but for sure, as I say, we are more than ready. So
we're so excited to see it, and hopefully, until then, like these live streams can be proven to be some sort of help for you guys in the meantime.
Totally.
Part of it all is the part that we've been saying already. The part of producing music, making sound. That hopefully, as soon as things can open, we're gonna have new material to show. We're gonna be, introducing it little by little. For example, me and Joachim just had a little first release after a long time. It's with a label from Australia called Algarib. And they're doing this series of compilations, raising funds for different organizations. This just came out a couple of days ago, and this it's a 3 CD compilation. Also, all the tracks are available on Bandcamp, and it's been really amazing to be part of it because it's been very motivational for the part of start to make music again and putting it out there, and also because I can release next to Joachim, next to Easy, Joachim's brother from Copenhagen, Nene H, Bark, so many friends and so many people that we also inspire us and that we also admire in a way. So that's been really, really motivational and good. Putting the good energy and also for us to remind, okay, these are the things that we need to focus right now. These are the projects that we have to work on, and this is the best time how we can spend our time right now. So basically focusing a lot on that. And focusing a lot on working with other collective like you guys that are our friends that we really like and support your work and what you're doing, and that we anyway have to stay together, push each other to stay afloat and to make sure that whenever we're past this phase that right now has been very complicated, we're going to be still there and we're going to be supporting each other. And I think that's the only way that we can really stay relevant and stay afloat, that is pushing each other, supporting each other, working together. And
yeah, I mean, the thing that I've learned the most is we probably need each other more than we ever did. Whether it is whether it is in a dark room or on a dance floor or on a Zoom chat, we need each other. So and so that's the whole reason why we built this, so that we can still stay connected and still.
For sure, and we will keep on being connected also after this, for sure. It's been a big help doing this to be able to do these kind of things, but also there's a lot of stuff to do after as well.
Yeah,
together. And this is the extension of the family that we so much like to mention, because I think we really like to work our projects as friends and family, and I think that part of the success of it is that that feeling translates into the party, translates into the night, and it all connects with what we've been talking with about giving preference to marginalized communities, so everybody can come and meet each other and feel, we're surrounded by the same people, by the same friends, by the same family, by the same community, basically. And that community extends to New York, extends to everywhere where we have the opportunity to work and to collaborate. So
And then kudos for Mala Junta for being able to carve out that space for us, for these people. But with that in mind, I'm so excited to present the next 3 streams that we're going to show to you guys. And it's going to be, I think DJ Tool's stream comes first up, and then Hyperaktivist, and then D.Dan. So thank you so much for joining me on this chat. And I really hope to see you all soon, whether in real life or digitally or whatever.
In real life or digital, yes. Thank you so much.
We hope so too. And thank you so much for having us.
And for the support and for what you're doing. Thank you so much for the work that you're doing.
Definitely.
Love you.
Hopefully soon together in the dance floor.
Love you, bebes.
Ciao.
Around the dance floor on the beat.
Ciao.
Bye bye.